broadcast, we have the Statue of, let's fix it. We have the Statue of Liberty on the screen, and we have at dawn. And now we're going to show again the, let me just pull up the gathered Statues of Liberty. I need to bring that up on the screen. Bear with me for a moment. It's kind of slow. The computer's a little slow. I think this is a remarkable way of communication. I don't know why you don't enjoy it. I don't know what's the resistance. I have no idea. I have no idea what's really going on here anymore. I thought I knew for a while. Mind programming, electric complex, relational aggression, envy, fear. But now it really makes no sense, because obviously what's coming if we don't gather is much worse than what could happen to us if we did and do. So, I don't know. You're all amazing to me. I love you all. Guys, God loves you all. We're sort of scratching our heads and saying, what do we do with this? I want to warn you that several of the young people and several of the older women in our family and community are potentially ill, some very depressed, could be suicidal. You are all in denial about the impact of your silence on one another and the impact on the younger people. And starting today and tomorrow, I'm going to make some changes in the way I send emails so that I really pull the younger people a little bit more separated from the impact of older women who refuse to connect. That's really strange. They're watching a demonstration of extreme female disempowerment or mutual avoidance, or whatever you want to call it. Let's fix that. And so let's get this on the screen here. Our Statues of Liberty gathering. That's what the women are supposed to be doing. And that's happening. For 3 years now, it's not been happening. It's like a world's record of resistance, I'd say. Just pulling this up and just taking a moment. Okay, here it is. Here it is. And let's put that on the screen. Just take a moment. It's a while for it to reflect the graphic. Here it comes. In a moment. There. Now we have the Statues of Liberties, and we have the New Millennial Golden Rule, directing people to 50/50 now at WordPress.com, and we have our marvelous miraculous gathering place that we have somehow been missing. I would like to gather us on many grounds, as sacred grounds in many places. This is certainly most particularly important. Right now, I'm really frightened that the Chicago area may, through the human interaction of error, produce a major eco-catastrophe in its area, at the same time that there's a disastrous impact on my own family there. Because of what they are doing. And I don't seem to be able to communicate in such a way that they heed me. There's a lot of resistance and resentment, and I have no idea why, because nothing is expressed in words or in communication. So this is all end-stage patriarchy. This is not something that an individual is doing. This is a group dance that you are engaged in, and it's very ill. Anybody can break out of it, though, by just saying, well, let's stop acting like such patriarchal poops and gather already and act like we appreciate the divine feminine. So we have that on the screen, and we'll do our marvelous recording. And I don't know that everybody doesn't know about this already. I think they know, and they know how to reach me and get any information about the broadcasts. I don't know what to do exactly. You just say I'm doing it and you can join in, and I keep saying that. Her whole love was to have the children there. She didn't hurt them so just to get along, have enough to eat. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Clara. And let's hear that again. And then she said she couldn't be the maid for everybody. She just left me to that. That's when she came back and started to sell again. Her whole love was to have the children there. She didn't hurt them so just to get along, have enough to eat. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Clara. All right. And now we'll do our ceremony. And, you know, even though you're very dark, light is always on at some level of the human heart because it's constructed that way. You have some ability to perceive reality, even if it's very distorted. And God, as God gives you some ability to wake up under extreme circumstances, you will. Here we have the light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one as soon as possible. And we'll say Namaste, Mitakuya Oyasi, Mitakuya Koseveral, Kongsum Pox, Poem Pox Culture, to your best, Cedric, to your best, Jinquei, Chop Chop, Sayonara, Dazudanya, Bahaba, L'chaim, Shalom, Salam, Soul, Salam, Shalom, Mir Pache Pache Mir, Merci, Buenos Dias, Ubuntu, Ciao, Schwadvag, and cheerio and good day, cheerio. And let's do it this way. And let's say, let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper all, both and each and every one as of the Milky Ways, solar, budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, co-secretary, generals, co-secretary, equinox, drew cues. And let's do it this way. Let's celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's love and live eternally young, long, and prosper all, both in each and every one, as equinox cues, Milky Ways, budding, blooming, Milky Ways, so solar, always growing and gardening, co-secretary general, but marvelous, miraculous, co-secretary general, co-secretary. And let's drink the milk of human kindness. Let's drink the milk of human kindness, especially starting with the 2 to 3 years on to breastfeeding for every holy baby girl, holy baby boy, past, present, future of your family, my family. It's all one family. And we're all related, and also what that does, you understand that the mother is goddess-like, and the importance to the family tree and the family community is made holy by upholding that as a standard, and then we also celebrate the milk of human kindness throughout our lives as equinox truths, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, always ever young in idealism and in kindness. And so let's drink on behalf of all, both and each and every one, representing all, both and each and every one now and as soon as possible, as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. Delicious. I drink on behalf of all, both and each and every one, representing all, both and each and every one as soon as possible. And now we have our elixirs of Purim and Passover, Estaris and Easteris, the Soma Vedic, and the Entheans of the Eleusian Mysteries, and the cocos and the eggnogs and all the other sacramental drinks. Let's drink, but none are more holy than the milk. Let's drink on behalf of all, both, each and everyone, representing all, both, and each one now, as soon as possible. Budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, Co-Secretary General, solar, of the Milky Ways, Co-Secretary General, Co-Secretary, Equinox QQs. I drink on behalf of all, both and each and every one, as soon as possible. Co-Secretary General, Co-Supervisor, Equinox. And we'll drink the water of loving, living planets that will reclaim and sustain all our planet Earth and all our Earths to be. As Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Supervisors, that show the solar lights. We're the star stuff, and we radiate. Let's be radiant instead of irradiated. Let's hope so. There are lots of looming and potential nuclear disasters here because of the mindset of the people in their own interactivity is very platonic in our time, because the mothers are not gathering with the daughters, and that's why. So you want to switch that, or you want to have Pluto? What do you want? You want a disaster at Indian Point Reactor? Or how about Zion in Illinois? Or how about Diablo Canyon in California? Where would you like to have your disaster occur? Right now, you're moving toward that. So instead, let's gather and deliver the numerical rule and take ourselves out of danger. We'll say, we'll drink on behalf of all, both and each and everyone, representing all, both and each and everyone, now and as soon as possible, as the Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Supervisors. Of the solar heart lights of the Milky Ways, budding and blooming, marvelous, miraculous. And then let's celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days. I'm setting my sights on my birthday, the 25th of September, 725 on the ancient calendar. It's a very lucky number. And of course, Anna Marie's birthday is 722 on that calendar, 922. And we'll celebrate all of your birthdays at that time properly, if we can't do it before then. But I'm very concerned that you're creating a situation where you're endangering yourselves and endangering me and endangering all of this. So let's hope we don't miss that, and instead we achieve it and enjoy it. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, consumption days, name days, and holy days as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Supervisors of the heart light, the Milky Way's heart light, budding and blooming, marvelous, miraculous, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Supervisors. Starting with our Shekinahs and our young Shekinahs and Hekinahs, around age 37 and younger, approximately, and then also starting with our equinox birth dates and then also our solar birth dates, both our vernal and autumnal brought together in a circle, and then our the rest of our solar. And then let's say it again. Let's celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretary. Budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous of the Milky Way, solar heart lights. And now we have our Purim cookie and our Passover wafer. The cookie is round, and of course that reminds us that we don't want to celebrate the hat of a hierarchical, genocidal maniac. In the story, it says that his wife is very patriarchal too, and is encouraging him toward aggressive, terrible intent. And why is that? Because women who have lived under patriarchy for a long time, they are not celebrating their own estrogen, and therefore they get something out of the nasty power of the men around them. Their own self-esteem is low, so they act it out through the men around them. I've got that going on in my family. And you probably do too. It's all one family. Let's wake up. Then we also have our Passover wafer, and it's flat because patriarchy produces the inability to become risen. The only way to become risen is to have egalitarian culture. And it looks to me like my family right now is very much endangered with regard to this, so I can only pray and hope that whatever happens to you is not permanently fatal. You're likely, I hope, going to have some epiphanies. Let's have our risen bread, our circle of bread, our brown bread for the risen females, and our oval bread for the risen males. And we also symbolize the other together grains of the earth. We have our oats and our rice. We thank Mother Nature for all of that. And I need to get the eggs of egalitarian culture. I'll be right back. Okay, and here we have our eggs of egalitarian culture. And we start with one egg, like me, and call the circle, recognize that we're always in the circle of the universe and the big sphere. And then we have two, like Lee, and Lee helped me quite a bit yesterday. And also three, like when Russ and Sylvia and I met together, and Maria and Patricia and I gathered together, and so forth. Three, and then we expand. Three helps us make a circle. Then, like the Celts say, the power of three. Then we expand to 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 even, up to 11. Gather together and say, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, equinox Jews, that we are all of that. And then bring our young women and young men, age 37 and younger, into the ceremony, starting with our young women and then our young men, very importantly, anointing them and then co-anointing them as co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, and all around each other in the circle. And then we have a good beginning of egalitarian culture process, and we can take that to our neighborhoods, our extended families, and change the world that way. When that happens, the relationships between women become improved, the relationships between women and men become improved, the relationships between an egalitarian marriage, a subset of that, become improved, the relationship between males improve without bullying, exploitation, cruelty, all the crap that goes on, or even that kind of terrible bonding that men do that is destructive to others, gang terrorism and so forth. That's not part of egalitarian culture. That's an outgrowth of patriarchy. And then we also remind you that each one of you is the egg, and you can say parity, not patriarchy. Past, present, future is equinox Jews, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, to everyone you speak with. And I actually need to do that. I spoke with some today, and I forgot to say it, so I have to remind myself to not lose sight of that. And let's see. So now we have our consciousness currencies. Consciousness currencies. We have our all the different gens of our family, our surnames. Let's mention some of them. Venerian, Adelian, Morellian, Margulian, Silver Golden Kindian, Zalkindian, Feldmarian, the answer is Slatian, with all the Native American names, singing crickets, sunflowers, babbling brooks, white feathers, whatever you want to call it, and then we also have our Kabadia Gandhis, and we have our I said that, and and our Sokolovs and our Beretzes and our Goldbergs and Goldenbergs and Hearsts and Herzogs and our Sweets and Sagans and Branscakel, Fitzgerald, and before I even say that, let's say Lee Winfrey and let's say Howell Cassidy and many, many more. Okay, and then we have all of our. So we start with the people in the Akashic record of all the women in the Akashic record of all those gens. They're all, we know, are related to us. And then, and did I say Newcomerian, Millerian, many more, Lichtian, there's more up here. Then we also have our current generations of women, around age 38 and over, especially important. And then we have our young people, equally important. Our young females and males around age 37 and younger, thereabouts, doesn't have to be perfect. And let's give you all big hugs and kisses. And you print these off the website. There's the section 50/50 now among the representatives, you, and you. And you can enjoy giving these out, and people are very welcoming of them and enjoy putting your pictures on them. And they're already there. Just to print them out. So we'll give you big kisses. And then we also have our big branching tree of the family. And we thank His Harry Harriet and Ray and His Harry Harriet for giving us the example of gathering women that they did in a hat-crown halo gathering place. That was a community gathering place for women, youth, and children. I'm sure men came there occasionally too, older men, and they were welcome. But we want to have parity before we bring our men into the mix yet, our older men. Among as a value among the women and the young people, we want to make sure that that's well understood. And so let's say all the names. We thank His Harry Harriet and Ray and His Harry Harriet. We remember Hannah, and there's more there. We have Estrella and Libertia. We have I said His Harry Harriet, Ray and His Harry Harriet, Grandma Papa, Grandma Margulies, Ray and Clara, His Harry Harriet, Jacqueline. Jacqueline's in this middle level here. The older people are hanging on to this culture. It's the younger people that are more at risk right now. The older people are getting all kinds of little perks. They have strong lobbies. The people in the Congresses are very old. That's why. But that means a plutonic culture. I mean, it's just fantastic. These are not getting eternal life. They're just getting a lot of pharmaceuticals. So let's improve that situation. Let's come back here and say some of our names. We have Kasturba and Radha, and we have did I say Marie and Pearl and Rose and Myrtle, and we have Precious Antoinette, Risen Rose, Grandma Marie, Grandma Annette, Grandma Dorothy, Grandma Lynn, and Grandma Rachel, and we have Hattie Mae, Gaugy, Lillian Gay, and we have Giselle and Christine and Isabella, and let's see, I already said Lynn and Rachel, and we have Rose and Jacqueline and Eunice and another Dorothy and Virginia and many, many more. Okay, and so all the various branches interacting of our family and communities. And in the Akashic record, these marvelous miraculous women who were not credited properly and under the numerical you can. Then we have our current generations of women, equally, well, especially important. And that's where we're really having trouble in our culture. The women in this culture are kind of flatlined as far as their divine feminine. They're droned. They work hard, but under hierarchies led by men, according to male values, using money that is not necessary when they could have gone solar. They're not thinking of going solar. They're thinking about making my individual money and putting in the bank. All these individualisms of women, instead of gathering, is destroying the eternal feminine in the United States. And we're like at the point of runaway here, runaway reaction. You're going to start seeing environmental consequences and personal consequences. Ladies, you have to gather. If you don't, you're going to have those consequences. You have to obvious. It's obvious, and that's it. I can't take that cup away from you unless you take it away yourself by gathering. So, so then we have so let's say the names. We have Marian and Victoria, Mariama, Julia, Maria, and I, we have Sonia, and we have Pratibha, and we have Leah and Jennifer and Anne and Ivy and Ivanka, and we have Alexandra, Rachel, Juliana, Francesca, and more. And we have, so those are our Gillian family, and we have among our Silver Golden Kid family, we have Bacha, Helene, Sherry, Arlene, remembering Lee and Thelma. Oh, I didn't mention Lee and Thelma up here, and also Adele, Rose, and also remembering Pearl and Ruby, and Lillian, and so also remembering here in our current generations we have Sally and Deborah and Paula and many more there, and then we also have our Salkindian family. We have Marcia and Denise, and all the Solomon family coming into that. That's also interesting. It's the same name, Solomon, and that we have Linda and Robin and Gila and many more there. And I've been neglecting to mention their daughters, so I'm going to make sure I do. And we have okay, so we have our Solomon. So we have our Feldmarian family, remembering Gisela and Dorothy. We have Andrea and Meredith and Merle and Cheryl and Susan and many more there. And we have our family of Renita, Patricia, Oprah, Alicia, and Krishnandra. And we have, of course, I need to be mentioning before them, Anne Marie, Seeing Crickets, and Ma Patricia Sunflowers, and Sophie, Martha, Laura, and Sophie, Martha, Laura, and Pauline. And then we also have, I neglected to mention the Akashic record, Malka and Shirley. We have Georgine, we have Naomi, we have Irene, and lots of Julianne's Rochelle's on the Goldenberg Ranch, and we have Deborah, and we have Deborah's, and we have Tracy's, and we have Arlene's more on different branches too. We have Judy and May, my neighbor, and neighbors, and Elizabeth and Louise, and Louise remembering Elizabeth, and we also have Lynn remembering Elizabeth and Ruth, and we also have obviously Shuan remembering, I neglected to mention Mazu, and we have Kathleen, Carolyn, and so forth, Kathleen, Carolyn, and Carrie and Megan, and we also have Marjorie and Hillary. And then we have our younger people, so very precious. We have Hadass, Rachel Marie, Daniel Duvier, Stacy Anastasia, Soma, Vanessa Salia with Julia Raquel Julia, Lynn and Sharon. We have Hesperus. Oh, I neglected to mention Jennifer up here with Diane and Sharon in the middle generation. Then we have Hesperus and Athena, and we have Rebecca and Sandra, and I neglected to mention in the upper generation here, Donna and Diana. Let's include them. Very important. That Diana is the person who has some kind of vendetta toward me, which she doesn't explain and acts out, and I don't know what it's all about. But we have clues, but no communication. So let's help her, and it's all about gathering women and getting them comfortable with gathering, and they're not doing that. And I keep saying, let's do it, that's what we need to do. Helping Jacqueline to encourage her. She doesn't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Juliana really doesn't want to do it. So everyone is getting to the point where they're sacrificing their blessings and their endangering their youth, and that we have to warn the youth. You take the good counsel, you call me by anyone with anyone, and then let your mothers and other Shekinah know if they can't figure it out how to gather with me on their own. And then, and so we have, and with each other. And so then we have Rebecca and Sandra, and we have Abby and Sarah, and we have Angeline, April, Edith, and Rosa, and we have Aquarius, and many, many more there. And did I say Stacy Anastasia? I think so. And Rachel Marie Daniel, Stacy Anastasia. We have Beth. We have Mary. There's another Mary, Sally's daughter. We have Beth, Robin's daughter. Lots more there. And we have Chelsea. Yeah, we have Chelsea too. And then we have Lee, who you all know already. You may have met. And then we have, and in this upper generation too, we have Rasa and Sylvia, and we have Marisha. You've met them too. And so then we have our young men, equally important: Shai, Harmless of His, Wesley, Jared, Itani, Eric, and Ross, and Marcel, and many, many more. And then when we've all gathered together and co-anointed one another as Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, the older women will be available through the stargates, and so then the older men become young again. And more. And so let's give you all the big kisses. I'm hugging you, and I give you big kisses. All right. And we have our Winston Howard group here. Very important. I think I mentioned, I hope I mentioned Georgine in the middle group. Of course, Georgine, very important. And here we have with remembering Malcolm and Shirley, and also with, yeah, I think I mentioned her. And so here we have Victoria Mariama, Julia Marie and I, and Georgine and Vanessa, Sally and Holland, Liz, Wesley, in connection with all of you, not separate from you, but with all the rest of you also connecting. That's what makes their situation important. They have people all around them on all the different surname branches, as they say, Anastasia's right there, and so is, very importantly, and so is a lot of other young people, as well as older women that the women need to gather with. So let's give you all big hugs and kisses. And then let's do our branch and family tree again. One more set of kisses. Hi, and then we want to say we'll pick parity with clarity. With our bowl of fruit, and we'll pick Parity Paradisze on this and all our planets, and we'll say we've had enough of patriarchal genocide. We're destroying our planet. It's obvious, and it's coming directly out of the fact that the women are not involved in decision making. So what can I say? We'll pick Parity Paradisze, past, present, future, as equinox cues, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries of the rainbow lights, solar, Milky Ways, esters, esters and easters, budding and blooming marvelous miraculous, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, equinox cues. And then we'll also, as I always say, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings, all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth, past, present, future, as equinox cues, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. And we'll say it again. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings, all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth, as equinox cues of the solar, heart lights, Milky Ways, solar, budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, equinox cues. And that's our ceremony today, fresh ceremony. Let's get you fresh again. Let's start coming. You're facing curses. You can call me 24/7. I hope your curses are just epiphanies and won't harm you permanently in any way. So let's hope so. I'm praying so for all of you and for me too. Every blessing, and let's go ahead and send this ceremony and put it on the phone tree. You think this?
Your greeting has been saved. To change extension type, press 1. To record